By way of reality check, I'm a deaf man. You can see my belongings around me. I'm in Section 8 in Tacoma. I've been to college late in life, so I learned only late in life what my rivals, who had purposefully deafened me, had been to schools like Harvard and Swarthmore to learn many, many years ago. I spent a lot of my life washing dishes. Gweener used me as an international symbol behind my back, promoting me as a civil rights advocate in a rave scene. And in Seattle, the rave scene was gunned down at the Blue House by a Confederate of the new movement that Gweener advocates for. The attack on the Supernova rave, which was organized by Islamos working with Nosferatu, had the same motivation of giving civil rights a bad name. Because when Reagan and Eastwood get away with mobilizing the Black Panther Party to despise white liberalism because of civil liberties' perceived excesses, they also get away with the AIDS attack. And this is McCartney's brainchild. He made it out that the lemmings were lesser creatures who deserved nothing, and that I was to be compared disfavorably with the great Houdini, John Lennon. And this mania for strategic actions comes out of Penis Gabriel's Real World's King Crimson, a whole assortment of jocks who coagulate around them because they transitioned as the generations changed. Because, as Lennon said, they're only interested in the young and healthy. Don Toon promotes bimbos. And if I had known Don Toon was in politics and his wife was from Milan, I wouldn't have gotten involved with Rosa. Rosa made out that she loved me, and I certainly loved my girlfriend when I was dating her. She was a wonderful girl. So she was on a hit attack to target a neuroplasm so they could pull this supernova rave demolition scene. While Gweener crowed that she was, the Echo Yui of Eno's side. Well, Rosa Clemente is leader of the Green Party, and they used a conjunction index with Roberto Clemente. Possibly Vera Clemente got scammed by Oprah Winfrey and Alpina and John Schulman. I have no idea. The University of Pittsburgh would have to hit the deck if somebody pulled out the Crary file. I mean, I was entitled to free tuition at the University of Pittsburgh, and they disallowed me to attend because they said I was a failure and a troublemaker, and I was making bad names for people like Schulman, Reagan, and Toon. Schulman got arrested. I ended up in Phi Theta Kappa because a deaf girl violated the union's secret illegal cult who decreed that I must never be allowed to learn sign language and find out what they were doing by learning such fields as linguistic anthropology. They didn't want me in school. So they finally had to let me into school. And I graduated in Phi Theta Kappa, and they finessed it. They said, well, here's what we've been doing to you behind your back all of these years, queer bait, ho, 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 and considered it a done deal. Here's your diploma. So what you're looking at is strategic deception in a killer operation that has destroyed, that comes from Bush and everything Bush did, and Obama and everything Jeffin did with Tony Blair. They use Burston and Blair because the names are from The Exorcist. And the Texas school book that killed Kennedy, they claim is justified. It's their property. It's a genocide merchandise paper that makes perfect sense to Nosferatu and his child pimping machine in the University of Pittsburgh. And the Russians are in on it. Don't be fooled. They have, sided with the caliphate in the destruction of Syria. I mean, everybody is hoping that the dismissal of the Syrian military regime helps nurture sentiments like exist in Lebanon in the Syrian region. Lebanon, far from being an enemy of anybody in the Palestinian state, are models of Islamic culture and Islamic generosity. And they're just torn apart by these military factions that get money from the Second Amendment crowd. They get money from the National Rifle Association. We just heard yesterday that the only people who were freed in the protest were the armed extremist crazies who were going for Assad when he was in power. Somebody put a flower in the rifle, they were tortured and put in the corpse masher. The Seattle corpse masher was found in the basement of one of the most notorious Syrian prisons. The Seattle corpse masher is also known as the Enforcers Clinic in Seattle, Washington.